Well, now, if you haven't done your Christmas shopping by now, you are officially too late. Most of the stores have shut their doors after another brisk day of trading in the run-up to Christmas. Sky's Mike McCarthy has spent the day at the Trafford Centre in Manchester.
Well, they've had a record run-up to Christmas here at the Trafford shopping centre, and on one day last week, on Wednesday in fact, there were 148,000 shoppers. That's the busiest day since the shopping centre's been opened. And joining me to talk about it is Lucy Sharp, and your duty manager, Lucy.
Hiya.
That was an amazing day, and has that been typical in the run-up to Christmas?
Well, I think year on year we have found at the Trafford Centre that the last week before Christmas we do tend to hit a massive amount of footfall in that midweek period, and then it tends to quieten off coming up towards Christmas weekend. In comparison to last year, we have gone up quite considerably in footfall.
Yeah, because today, although it is busy, it doesn't seem to be that much busier than a normal weekend. Is that right?
Yes, well, we had a quiet start today, which, to be honest with you, was expected for this last weekend before Christmas. Most of the shoppers seem to have managed to get all their gifts by now, and we just have that last-minute rush. We are perking up now to what we were a couple of hours ago.
So compared with previous years, how's it been looking generally?
Really positive. We had a really good October and November in terms of trade, great feedback from retailers, and this particular last week has really sort of blown everything out of the water.
And what about this idea of people browsing before the shops open? Has that been successful today?
It has been successful. Obviously today we are hindered slightly by the Sunday trading hours, which, you know, is a slightly negative thing for the Trafford Centre, because I'm sure there are a lot of last minute shoppers who would appreciate having slightly longer to shop. The browsing is the idea that they can sort of get their eye on what they're going to buy, and as soon as the shop's open for purchasing they can just snap it up.
OK, Lucy, thanks very much indeed. Well, I know everybody here at the Trafford shopping centre is bracing themselves for Boxing Day, which is going to be another extremely busy day here and around the country.
Well, joining us from Huntingdon is the retail analyst Natasha Burton. Natasha, just important to explain how important this time of year is for the shops. They do most of their sales at this time of year.
That's right, but unfortunately this last week before Christmas we've seen across the nation in our footfall index that shopper numbers have actually been down 8.5% on the same period last year.
The numbers might be down, but what about how much they're spending?
Obviously we just show the actual people out there shopping, and that's on the high street alone, and obviously the spending figures are all boasted by the internet and also supermarkets buying as well.
You mentioned it there, the importance of that whole online way of buying stuff. Is that going to actually have a big effect on how much money is spent in the shops this year, but in terms of people actually buying stuff online and pushing the prices down?
Well, there is a small problem with how much actually people have to spend this year. They've been hit really hard by the economics, by two recent interest rate rises which have made their mortgage repayments high, and also payment on existing debt and credit cards. And like, we've had a lot of credit card Christmases over the years, but this year people are actually servicing the debt they already have. But if they are choosing to shop, the consumer has a real choice of where and when to shop now. It's not just the high street. You can shop 24 hours a day online and in the supermarkets.
So they'll draw their breaths tomorrow and have a bit of time off, but then the frenzy starts again on Boxing Day with many of the sales starting.
That's right, there's a lot more shops open every year on Boxing Day, but the real big day is the 27th, when all the shops are open. A lot of the big department stores are gearing up for their big sales as well, and that's when people will really hit the streets in style. Natasha Burton, appreciate your time. Merry Christmas, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Time now to catch up with all the sports news. Steve is here. Steve.
Thanks very much, Martin. Well, England's cricketers have been getting in some final practice ahead of the fourth Ashes test in Melbourne that starts on Boxing Day. England, remember, go into the match 3-0 down in the series and are desperate to avoid that dreaded 5-0 whitewash.
It's been very, very upsetting. Everybody's gutted, and we wanted to come over here and play out to our best of our abilities. I don't think we've done that. We've only really played 4.5 days of good cricket in Adelaide, but Australia have proved what a good side they are. They've been the top side now for 6 years, and you don't stay the top side for 6 years without putting in some great performances.
Well, Shane Warne goes into the match one test wicket short of 700. He says the Australian side believe they can now go on to win all 5 matches in the series.
Mission accomplished, yes, winning the Ashes, but